This is Mohammed Learcat, a married father buying a bottle of vodka at a petrol station. Minutes later, he used it to get a girl drunk before he held her down for another man to rape. Yesterday, Learcat and his cohort, Abid Sadiq, were labelled sexual predators by a judge. They and their gang were jailed for a total of 19 years after police tracked them, systematically cruising around Derby, picking up vulnerable young girls, grooming them with gifts, drugs and alcohol before abusing them and handing them round to their friends. Their youngest victim was 12 years old. Most of those they preyed on were white. Now, former Home Secretary and MP for Blackburn, Jack Straw, has sparked controversy by suggesting this type of crime is a specific problem involving Pakistani men.
It is an issue, and it's an issue about how those young men think of women women of their own ethnicity who tend to be off limits, and then what they do about vulnerable white girls. And there's no point pretending this is not a problem, because it is. I keep saying this is not to suggest for a second that it's only in the Pakistani heritage community this kind of thing takes place. That's untrue. Disproportionately, sex offenders are white, but we gain nothing if we don't actually talk about this aspect of this problem.
Such is the anger surrounding the Derby case, there was significant police presence outside court yesterday. The suggestion that victims could have been targeted partly by their race makes investigating such crimes even more complicated.
There are racial and other cultural sensitivities, and these have to be dealt with very carefully. But the essence is these are difficult crimes to prosecute. Victims themselves, oddly enough, often fall in love with the perpetrators. These are difficult things for a youngster, often vulnerable people, to give evidence later.
But Jack Straw's comments have angered many who say he's oversimplifying the issues, that he's guilty of racial stereotyping.
We need a proper, thorough investigation by the police, gathering together all the information about all these cases in different parts of the country to see whether there are patterns and networks that need to be addressed in order to stop this crime. I don't think that we can make that jump necessarily to it being a cultural problem.
All agree there needs to be increased dialogue with the communities that surround these criminals, but many say only in the context of pursuing specific cases. That to suggest a generalised problem degrades the abhorrent nature of Sadiq and Learcat's crimes. Ursula Errington, Sky News.